What is going on, Homestead homies? Today we're going to talk about the 5 things that I think is pretty important for you to look at or investigate when you are looking to buy your homestead property. We have several friends of ours that have sold their houses and they've even moved into RVs and they're traveling around right now and they're trying to find a place that they're going to call their own and looking for a homestead. I've also seen some people right here on YouTube who actually bought property, started to build a tiny house, and then they came in and said, you can't build that tiny house. And they actually had to dismantle it and give it away and get it out of there and start all over. So we're going to go over some of the 5 things that I feel are pretty important and surprising. You guys are going to be surprised what the bottom one is, which I think it's kind of important, but I don't think it's that important. But you guys will be like, what? Okay, the number 1 thing that you guys should look into when you're looking at building your homestead or buying property is the city and county ordinances. So you want to make sure about the building codes. Do they have building codes? Do you have to have a septic? If you get a septic, a lot of you won't believe it, but a lot of places say that if you get a septic, you have to have electricity. Or if you want to get electricity, then they say you have to have septic, or you even have to have a foundation on the building that you're going to be living in as a dwelling place. So make sure the very first call that you make when you just say, hey, I think this is, the land's fitting into our parameters and I like the layout, I like the location, I like the woods, I like the pastures, I like everything about it. Make sure your very first call is to the city council. Go down there face to face to your city hall. Ask them about all of their building codes, what they require, what they don't require. That's the very first phone call that I made when we built our place. And actually, when the lady on the phone told me that they don't have any of that nonsense around here, I knew that we were one step closer to finding our homestead. And we've been here, we haven't had any problems, and we really enjoy our spot. So make sure you do your due diligence up front so you can enjoy your spot too. So my second important thing is, once you've decided that the building codes and everything else is something that you can live with. I mean, there are some places that have building codes, but they're fairly lax, or you can work around them. So once you figure out that that's something that you want to do, then the second thing would be to have the land surveyed. A lot of people I know, this is crazy, I know, guys, but a lot of people I know have bought property and they said, oh, it ends over here and it goes over there. And I even know of one couple that bought some property that was fenced, and it turned out that when they had the land surveyed, they had an extra like 4 or 5 feet on the other side of their fence. So get your land surveyed. Make sure the land company comes out, they stake it in the ground, you get your orange flags everywhere, so you know all the parameters of the land that you're going to buy. Because there's nothing that you want to do more is buy a piece of land, it's the worst situation, and then right off of the bat you're having disputes with your neighbors about what part of this is yours. Maybe you're gonna put a fence in that there was never one before, and by what you've seen on your documents without a survey, it says maybe you can go here, and then it turns out that that's not correct, and the other guy's been living there a long time. Just avoid all those headaches. So get your land surveyed. Now the third one, a lot of people might not think about, is called mineral rights. You want to make sure that the property that you buy comes with the mineral rights. There are actual plots of land that you can buy and all you get is the dirt. It's like they sell it and with the retention of the mineral rights. So mineral rights are really important. What if they find oil on your property, or natural gas, or diamonds, or gold, or silver? You just want to make sure that you have the mineral rights. Now I know a lot of people that never even considered that before, so hopefully when I said that to you guys, you had an aha moment. But I'm just letting you guys know, you can buy land that doesn't have the mineral rights included, and that could turn out to be a big problem, especially if something's actually found there. That could be your golden goose. And the fourth thing that you guys want to look out after is easements. You want to make sure that no one has an easement with you. I mean, if you're comfortable with that, go ahead. For myself, I wouldn't want a neighbor that me and him shared an easement. It just opens it up to any kind of confrontation or problems in the future. Somebody might seem really nice right now, and then later on they might not be nice at all. So I always tell my friends or people that contact us and ask us about information on getting land to make sure and try not to get any land that has easements. Even the electric company runs lines through your property, and they have a big easement there, you know. And make sure that you don't have land that you're buying that has an easement for like wildlife or something. The previous owners could have entered into an agreement to say that they wouldn't forage or pasture on that land for a lifetime, and it transfers over when you guys buy the property, and then you won't be able to graze your livestock there or anything else. So just make sure there's no easements and there's no other kind of little tricky stuff going on, like with power lines and stuff like that. All right, so my number 5 thing to consider when you're getting your property is water. So it's really not a deal breaker, because like we bought this property with no well and no water, and we've managed to do very well. We didn't just survive, but we thrived. It took a little bit of figuring out at first. We wanted to make sure we were going to implement the right system. I'll leave a link right there of a video that we just did about our water system, and you know, it just really works good for us. So yeah, you would like probably to get well water or maybe some natural streams. But for us, and what I would say is that it's not really a deal breaker. The only way it's a deal breaker is if you cannot collect rainwater, right? So if they say there's an ordinance against collecting rainwater, then that would be a deal breaker. So make sure you look into that, because well, spring, or even collection of rainwater, you'll be able to handle your water needs. And always, you know, we encourage you to maybe look for a pond on the property. It works well for us. We stock it with fish so we can eat out of it. We can get water out of it. We can water our livestock with it. It's very multi-purpose. Actually, I did a video about that, as if your homestead is really sustainable, because a pond on a homestead really takes your sustainability and self-sufficiency up a notch. So this is just my top 5. It's not the end-all be-all list. It's just my opinion. Stacy and I, we talked about this. And these are the things that we feel like, if we were giving you guys advice, would be some of the top things that you'd want to consider as you're looking for your piece of property. Always, you can check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And you know, if you guys come here every day and watching our videos, you're homestead homies, and we really do appreciate that. Archihog actually won for March Homestead Homie of the Month. So we're waiting on you to contact us so we can get your mailing address and get you out your stainless steel bowl that Layman's is sponsored us for that gift for you, and we're going to get that out to you as soon as you contact us and give us your mailing address. So as always, thanks a lot for stopping by. We hope that you got some nuggets inside of here. We know there's a lot of people looking into homesteading or living off grid, that it's, you know, it's a movement. There's another video right there, homesteading is a movement. But we just want you guys to have this information. We didn't have the information, you know, or didn't know of it when we searched for our property. So you can learn by our luck, and also by other people's by other people's mistakes. So we'll see you guys on the next video. And don't forget, hit the subscribe button, give us a big thumbs up, and let us know if you are going to be buying property in 2018, and if you have property right now, leave us a comment down below and tell us, have you had any problems along this line of what I mentioned, or do you have something to add to the conversation?
Hey guys, thanks for watching our video. You might want to check out these videos.
And if you want to become a homestead homie, click the picture of us below.
We will see you tomorrow.